Wake Up Jacob, Israelite Prepper here, and I was looking at a post in a group online, and I also posted it too. I just posted a question. So the reason I'm doing this video is because I wanted to ask you guys the same question. Now we know in 2 Corinthians, is it 2:16 in 2 Corinthians where it says, "Touch not the unclean thing." I should have just looked it up real quick, but in 2 Corinthians, it's talking about touch not the unclean things. Now, we know that it's not really talking about a physical touching, of something unclean. Spiritually, it's talking about, idolatry and staying away from that and stuff like that. But with that in mind, if we couple that with, say, for instance, our dietary law, right? Or like those things, we're not supposed to consume them, not supposed to have them, don't touch them, stay away from them and stuff like that. Don't eat anything unclean. And we consider, like, even with handling, like dead bodies and stuff, so don't touch, dead bodies and you'll be unclean. Just, go back to the law. You guys know what I'm talking about. But I want to get to the question. Okay, so the question of, touching not the unclean thing, does it extend to, say, farm animals, right? So if we can't, like, most Israelites not even interested in having, like, pigs, right? We're not going to eat it, we're not going to eat it, but at the same time, they're like, there's no use for it, so we're not, I'm not going to even have one, I don't see a Hebrew Israelite having a pig farm, right? So does it extend to farm animals, like touching and staying away from a quote-unquote unclean animal, right? Does it extend to pets? Okay, can you have what's an unclean pet? That sort of thing. I just want to kind of start a dialogue. Let's just see about that. Now, obviously, there's going to be people on both sides of the argument, right? There's going to be people on both sides of the argument. I was like, well, yeah, there's use for certain pets. Some people may even justify a pig. They may say, hey, a pig, they're like a garbage disposal. So if I'm on a farm and, our scraps and stuff like that, our scraps of food, we give it to the pig, they take care of it, so on and so forth, right? Some people may have some other, quote unquote, unclean animals on their farm. And they, again, because they have a use. And that's what I'm saying. Does it extend to pets? Like, for instance, we can't eat cat and dog. So does it extend to them? Like, you can't have, pets and things like that, right? So that's why I'm asking that question. And I'm just throwing it out there, putting it on the table so we can just kind of talk about it a little bit from there. Now, touch not the unclean thing. Yes, I understand. It wasn't talking about pets. That's why I'm asking, does it extend to that? It was, it mainly refers to, idolatry and coming out of, idol worship and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is that if we're not supposed to handle unclean things, does it extend to pets? Does it extend to farm animals? Is it just a matter of, hey, you know what? Just because something's unclean, that means doesn't mean we can't handle it. It's just that we shouldn't consume it. It may be just that. Give me your thoughts out there. I've seen a couple of things out there. They say, hey, remember, the Messiah himself rode in on a donkey. Now, a donkey is an unclean animal, meaning we can't consume that animal. So is it okay to, handle an animal? Some people just say, we're not supposed to be anywhere around it. There's arguments in that when they start going into that, just not, where anything that's, abominable, destroy it, or unclean, destroy it. So people have those different things like that. There's some people say, well, I don't see anybody in, the Bible that, had pets, what can I say? I think it's implied. But some people, maybe if they go to some of the other books, some of the other books, extra biblical books and stuff, they said Tobit, there's a young boy, in Tobit, or Tobit's son or something like that, had like a dog, but not everybody subscribed to the Apocrypha. There's also something interesting with Christ and the Canaanite woman too, as well. They said over in Matthew 15:27, this was implied, right? In Matthew 15:27, it said, "And she said, 'Truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table.'" So there's an implied pet there, even if we don't see example after examples of people of the faith, you know, having pets, but it's kind of implied, and then you don't see it condemned there or whatever. So, hey, you know what? Let's just talk about it a little bit. Put it in the comment section below. It's always good to kind of build with the brethren and stuff, and just want to, you know, sharpen our swords and get better. I want to also add in, you know what? I'll save that for the next video. No problem. Let's just stay on task and on topic for this one. I want to hear your thoughts. You heard my thoughts. I was just kind of putting it out there. You heard my thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts. Put it in the comment section below, and like, subscribe, and I'm going to see you on the next video, because this video, my friend, is over. Shalom.